Hi, this is Josh, and in this video, I'm going to look at unit testing WordPress plugins, how they add hooks. In my past couple videos, I've shown how to use BrainMonkey for mocking functions from WordPress core, and I've also showed how to use Mockery for mocking classes that might not exist when you're doing unit tests, because remember, your unit tests are going to have no WordPress loaded, no other plugins, no MySQL. So we have to use blocks. And the place where this gets really tricky is with testing classes that add hooks. And it's a question I get a lot, like how do you test classes that get hooks and do things? One, mock, add action, add filter, apply filters, that kind of thing. And two, decouple as much as you can the logic. So let me show you what I'm going to write tests for today. I'll share my screen. Sure we do that today. And this is, oops, that's plugin machine itself. This is a class in the plugin that I was using in the last few videos about unit testing by example. Well, I've added this class here, change title hook. What it's going to do is at pre-get posts, it's always going to hook into pre-get posts. And it's going to check, this is the callback here, the add title hook, right? And so it's going to check, like, are we not in the admin and is this a single post? In which case it's going to add this filter type, this hook on the title that does this. So this could be anything. The point is that this callback is totally decoupled from the other things, which is great because maybe it has other things we want these like integration tests for. But right now, let's test these three methods as they are. I have this abstract test case set up so that way all my classes get, my tests can extend from that. It extends PHP framework unit test case, that way I have to remember that namespacing in every test. And it also does some setup. It sets up Yoast polyfills for backwards compatibility and PHP unit, and then I've also added for BrainMonkey the setup and teardown next to the existing PHP unit setup and teardown. So these will run in every one, and one of the things that does actually is set up the system like the hooks. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm not going to have to mock directly. It's already set up for me. Add action and even has action. So what I'm going to do, we split this and bring back up title hooks. I'm not going to have to mock add action, and I can just test has action, right? Like, does it have that action after I call this? Because that's the unique business logic of this, is that it adds an action. I don't want to test like the WordPress hook system that already exists. So this is going to be namespace notes unit test unit. So that way it's in the same namespace as that. Trying to get me to extend PHP unit test case, but I have my own extender that has these setups. So if I do public test, remember it has to start with word test, add hooks. We call, okay, we're going to need to use this, use notes, change title class. Change title hooks, and then I'm going to call that here. Hooks, and then that has some side effects that we are testing here. And so we're going to go this, assert same. And what I'm looking for is 10, because has action is going to return the priority of the hook that it's added on or false. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this here so I make sure I have exactly the same codes. Except for that's going to need to change as a reference to that. I like using static classes for adding hooks because then it's really clear how to get a reference to the object, because there isn't. It's the static instance. Like this would be a lot harder to test if we were using like this. Right? It's telling me not to use this as a static method, but if I had done it that way inside the constructor, then this test would be a pain in the ass to write. So I just don't. I never do that. Like if this was something, I would be like object equals. I would do it outside of the thing. I change title hooks, and then I would do add action. Object. Whatever that was. That's how I would do it. So that way I could still reference that object later. But that's annoying. Like it just doesn't. I don't need to call this class twice. Just make it static. It's just easier. Right, that's part of testing like classes and two hooks. Just write them in a good way. But anyway, those are tests. Yeah, it should run. Why are you being slow, Windows? Why are you being slow, Windows? Why are you being slow, Windows? There we go. Cool. So now we have 5 tests, 8 assertions. And I also am going to want to check the business logic of that. So in my next one, just copy this test, maybe add title hook, add title hook. This is where we're still going to need to use mockery. Let's start. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this function here. And then I'm going to check this assert same 10. And this time we use has filter. And we'll copy this bit here for the rest of that. Just making sure to update this. We need a closer there. And so this is going to tell us title, like whether or not that gets added. Except for I need to pass query here. And this is a WP query object. So we're going to go ahead and use mockery, the same as in the other video that I did. Tell it to mock WP query. And let's check 2 things here. We're going to get a method is admin. I showed that last time. Should receive is admin. Let's say once. So that way, if for some reason it gets there twice or 0 times, that would be a problem. Like that shouldn't, like we're expecting that to happen. So let's tell it, get this one, so test something. And then the other thing we're going to need to do is set this is single property, which is here. So this once, and then we'll set this public property to true. Should receive is admin once and return true. Oh, sorry, false. Not in the admin and is single. So that will add that hook. This should be mockery mock. That's not that. I need to pass this in here. By the way, I'm going to put this code in a gist that I'll link to in the description of the video, so you can copy it. Both of these 2 files. I think that's what I did wrong there. Yep. Okay, cool. So what I did is I created a query mock, a mock of WP query class. And then I told it should receive admin once and return false and set is signal true. And then we use that to call this callback to maybe add the title. You see how I don't really, in this test, I don't care about adding this hook. I care about this. This is one of the big things about unit testing is you have to accept that this method doesn't tell you everything works. This method doesn't tell you everything works. You have to layer. And then you layer on integration tests, acceptance tests to deal with the limitations of these. No single test is going to solve everything, but you do want to consider making sure that making a test that's almost the same. We'll call this test not a title hook. And then in this one, what we're going to do is right here, assert false has filter. And I'm going to set this to false. And then I'm going to do it here again, except for keep this true and make this true. So this part of it failed, right? I like these because this is easy code to write, but it's also easy to assume that you did it right. You didn't write the wrong method, that you didn't leave out an exclamation point. And that's the beauty of this. And so again, I'm going to need to do a test for just a piece of it, this part here. Function filter test. Because before I was just testing this logic, I wasn't testing this logic. So now I have to do one more test to test this logic. This assert string starts with special. I put static there. Okay. Special, and then we have to give it a string. So this will be change title hooks filter title. And then it's going to need to this assert, it's going to need to end with what we provide inside. And ends. So that should work if I put that there. Okay, this is just string starts with yeah, it's just a spelling issue there. See, a little bit different. This is cool because it gives an opportunity not just to look at this and whoops, typo, but also maybe because this is probably going to get wrapped in a setting at some point, and then that test is going to be inserted on to be get prefix here. Great, because I'm just imagining this would have a a database, get option or whatever. All right, so just do it this way, and then that allows us to say this starts with, because this could change at any point, and so we're going to say change title. Here. It should always start with this prefix. I think that's a little bit of I should close this out now. A little bit of a better test. So let's just go through these real quick. Again, this one is taking advantage of those mocking functions where we were able to add the hook and then check did it get added with priority 10. Then we mock WP query for the second hook, because that's what it needs, just to check that like that also adds a hook. Then we add another one. We have two different approaches to WP query that are inbound. It's a no filter. Assert false has filter on the title. And then this one, we tested that string changing function did things, that it changed title hooks, things like that. So thanks for watching. There's links in the description to the code from this. And also there's a playlist that's popping up at the end with other phpunit testing videos. Thanks for watching. You can like and subscribe for more of these videos, or go to pluginmachine.com/subscribe to sign up for the email list and get all sorts of fun stuff. Thanks.